All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect right here, right now, and we got a legendary hip hop artist right here, right now, formerly of No Limit Records. We got Lil Ric live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good, baby.
I gotta say, first and foremost, man, I've been a fan for so many years, man. So just thank you for just giving us a little bit of your time this evening.
Man, I appreciate you, man. You always know how this shit go, man. You know what I'm saying? You love, go throw love back, man. It's nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
But I gotta ask you there, Lil Ric, like taking you back to the beginning of your illustrious career within the music industry, like what actually sparked the legendary career, man? Like what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
Man, you know, really, he kind of pushed that with me to put, you know what I'm saying, to put a little aggressively. You know what I'm saying? Start dealing with him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, doing certain things, I already had it. And the ending, you know, rapping, doing, you know, everybody kind of relate to rap shit or whatever. But, you know what I'm saying, when I got with Bruh, he kind of like put it on, like, man, you should do this. And then, you know what I'm saying, went to the studio one time and we got married. 3 years later, something like that, almost, what, 20-some, 30 years later, so, you know, Bruh pushed the line.
And I gotta say as well, man, you know what I mean? You most definitely, even at the beginning of your career, man, at such a young age, I remember you were at such a young age in the early 90s, I want to say, you actually signed with No Limit Records. And I have to ask you, like, what was it like actually being signed to No Limit and just working under Master P?
Well, you know, that thing was really not even signed, but signed, you know what I mean? It was just really, really genuine. And across the board, it was just understanding and I'm fucking with you. I'm a loyal dude. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like I'm fucking with you thing, and giving me information up, putting me on, you know, putting me on certain things as you moving, growing as you know, should be doing these little things, and you know, it was just like it's an experience that you know you can't pay for. You know what I mean? I can feel it. The other stuff that's been going on with lately, they just put me back on. I can just feel it all over again. From knowing how we was moving and seeing where this dude is at right now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel good just by that. As long as he go, I go.
And I gotta say as well, man, like, because obviously, you know, it started out in Richmond, California. That's when, like, where No Limit started. So you were one of the very first artists to ever actually be on No Limit. Like, who were the other artists that were actually signed to you at the very that were signed alongside you at the very beginning?
Man, me, all I think was like King George and Cali G and some other cats, but you know, he was dealing with a few people, but they were coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really was King George and the Grind. You know what I mean? And Cali G them came or something a little bit after that, but when I dealt with him, I really didn't see nobody. You know what I mean? I was I had my own thing. My little thing going on, the neighborhood shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like I was over there doing that, all type of little shit. So I really didn't see all the other entities that they had really doing whatever you're doing, because a lot of them cats are like, okay, all right, where they from? Okay, boom. They're from Richmond, I'm with you anyway, whatever. But I didn't really see too much of them as we was doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had his plan going, you feel me? And, you know, he was just working. He was working. You don't even see the movie, man. He did it.
And also, man, in the year 1994, you actually dropped your debut album titled Deep in the Game. That is actually, as we already know, would be one of No Limit's first album releases. I was wondering, what's the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal record? And what was it like just being there, actually recording that amazing classic record?
Man, you know, it really felt like I felt that the energy was. It's hard to explain because you feel you get it. You know, it's excited, hungry, ready, all of those shit. And then like at the time, but the plan was set. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do? Like I said, when we started getting into the music, the beats start defining the album. You know what I'm saying? When I got the music, I'm going through hundreds of beats just trying to find the right ones for what I'm feeling. And you know what I'm saying? And then like coming from the neighborhood and running around the streets, it just all started coming. And you know what I'm saying? And back then, to have a CD and the tape ready to come out, man, you know, that it was big because it wasn't like it is now. It wasn't that many. So coming out, being representing the city that I'm from, it was like, man, this shit is good. And like I said, the music and the beats is really what started getting me going even more. You start bringing out the energy and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And what was going on in the city and the bank. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing all the shit that was everywhere, every city. You know what I'm saying?
And I also remember as well that album actually had phenomenal collaborations on there as well. I remember JT the Bigga Figga, and I also remember Silk GLP as well. I know there was a few others, but I think Mr. Brainy as well. It was most definitely a classic album, man. I gotta say, I hope now. Do you ever think down the line you might actually bring it back out as a remastered anniversary edition?
I've been doing some. It's been going since then. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that people just stay going to. They just doing their thing. It's one of them things that just go. Like, listen, I still get my little tidbit for that, and it's my album. That's not key album. It's my album. I own everything on that. Control everything on that. You know what I'm saying? When we went to when we decided to go back home. You know, he handed that over. I don't know, you have it. And then just do your thing, follow my lead. You know what I mean? And that was it. You know, man. And it's rare. Like I said, the only No Limit that wasn't on No Limit. No more after you left with it, but you just showed me love. You showed me what I needed to do. And stay before my move. You know what I'm saying? Until I started getting into trouble and shit. You know, I actually know.
But I gotta ask you, man, like, what is one of your most memorable moments just working for Master P and No Limit Records? Because it must have been such a surreal time in anyone's career to be signed to one of the most iconic hip-hop labels of all time.
You know, really, like, we were so in tune, bro. It wasn't nothing. We were just in tune. Like I said, when you in the movie, you don't really see it, but we were just in tune because the plan was set, what we was going to do, how we was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just go. You know what we're doing, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like a team, just a strategy of let's go. And it seems like I was going to the championship anyway. I didn't know he was going to do that, but he said he was going to do what he was doing and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it felt good to see all of that happening for bro and how he did it and knowing my position in that at the time, too. You know what I mean? And what was going on. So to go heavy in there with that, like really heavy with bro in there. Doing a thing. He really was, you know, backing me and supporting me and pushing me and all over my album and bringing me to his joints and all over his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Representing me. And he said he knew I was from Richmond. You feel me? And so he was like, man, this dude, he's going to go ahead and do this thing. But, you know, all this shit happened, trouble happened, you know, growing up as a kid, you know what I'm saying? You learn shit. You know what I'm saying? But Bud definitely put me on in a way that, you know, can't nobody say nothing about that. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful time. I can feel it all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's energy. That's a beautiful energy to have, bro.
And I actually remember hearing as well from many individuals within the industry telling me that Master P was one of the most humble and loyalist individuals you probably could ever do business with.
I can agree to that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with you. Like you said, you know, we started with me just spending a couple dollars with him at his little store. You know what I'm saying? I was on the other side of town and shit. You're saying, you know, people talk, we start talking, and you know, this grew from there. But definitely a humble dude, you know what I'm saying, and genuine, and you know, giving. You know what I'm saying? He want to see people win. That's how he was, like I said. Because when we start rocking, yeah, you know, the brothers to do that type of shit, who see something in you and ready to take you there, man. I mean, he didn't have to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But he seen something, obviously, right? That's, you know what I'm saying? And shit, man, that's what it is. You feel me? Like I said, he's just cool cat. All, you know, everybody probably do their little thing and have, you know, everything ain't gonna be perfect for everybody, whatever it is. But like I said, you know, with cousins have fights, it be all type of shit. But you still get through it and you go. You know what I'm saying? Like we never had an issue on any of those things, like I said, because I understood that where he was at with it. I got the sponge on tight, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get all that everything you give it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I do just naturally, he's giving it to me. I know, you know what I'm saying, what was gonna come out of it, all like that. You know what I'm saying? And you learn this shit, but man, gave me a lot of game, man, and it worked for me. And to this day, different things and different avenues, different moves. You know what I'm saying? With certain pieces of game, man. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, humble, man. Giving that shit to people. Didn't have to. He just would help you do whatever it is. He's got talent, man. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? If you work it, work it. Don't it, don't. You know what I'm saying? And they be tripping on selling shit. A lot of cats he's been with too. You know what I mean? It's like get their album done. About them, you give them a couple of albums, something to make sure they straight. But I think he didn't have no shit. Shit didn't come out. He's just making sure they straight. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. You know? Like I said, it was a great experience, man, fucking with Bud, man. Like I said, I'm still holding on to a lot of that because it's still growing, damn it, on my end. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they, out of sight, out of mind, all of our struggles and troubles have the underworld doing whatever, but a lot of my fan base has been coming up ever since a lot of this stuff been happening, and seeing that I ain't never went nowhere, but you know, yeah, we still doing our thing out here. You know what I'm saying? Still a good city out here. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You know what I'm saying?
And also as well, I gotta ask this, man, because this is one of my favorite records that you ever actually put out is actually titled Wicked Streets, that actually got released in 1996, man. I gotta ask you, what's the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal record? Because I do know that's actually your first release coming out of No Limit Records.
So you're right. That one right there was in a way a big D-boy, Jay Clark. Now, as I see separated from No Limit, he just did his differences or whatever, but still love. But this was a hungry, aggressive stand to make sure that we had an impact in the music, in the bass first, and then wherever he was going. Because he said, man, just piggyback, just follow me. So what we did and what I did was go back to the neighborhood. Like, what I do, so just got it right there and made sure everything was set in stone from right there in the parking lot. I'm writing the joint in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Writing the songs in the parking lot. In the music, going to get the producers, and writing the joints in the parking lot. Singing what I'm singing in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? And put it to the music. And like I said, the people felt it. And I was like speaking for the city at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because singing, live singing, I think they was going through some troubles or something. There wasn't no voice really out there that was, going where we was going with it at the time. So it was like, okay, man, we got to step this one up 100%. You know what I'm saying? And make sure they understand where we're coming from, man, because, Doug don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? We made sure that we locked in, and we got to make sure we do what we do. And, you know what I'm saying? The strategy worked. We went to Jack the Rapper. I got the game from Jack the Rapper. You know what I'm saying? About the promo shit. I took that game from Jack the Rapper, came home with it, and went crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, knowledge is key, but that Wicked Street is based on the energy in the parking lot and what we were doing and how we was living and how, the city was rocking with us, you know what I'm saying, and all this shit, rocking with us, rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? It was just a solid top of the time, man, and it was all real. All real. You know what I'm saying? No bullshit, no nothing on that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a solid move, man. You know what I mean? And we was focused, hungry. You know what I'm saying? And like, we got to do it. Because at the end of the day, when Pete started saying the manner in Richmond and shit, man, that was like, okay, boom, we got it. We own. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure to understand where we coming from, man. Let them understand the truth of where we is. You know what I'm saying? In this city. You know what I'm saying? And try to show the city, not the city, but the Bay Area and wherever else they go, that Richmond niggas get money, not just they columns and shit. And that niggas ain't with that shit. So although shit happens everywhere though, right? But another one of my moves is just to make sure that niggas understand that we get money. We get money niggas in Richmond though. We fucking around. What's up, player? What's up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, real shit speaks for itself. Like good shit gonna speak for itself. And the work was put in, and the producers was raw, authentic. You know what I'm saying? And it was the sound came out that I love. Everything I felt that, and people still feel it to this day. So I'm appreciative for everything. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it wouldn't be here if it was bullshit or false advertisement of anything that was going on. You know what I mean? That was a solid move, though.
And I remember as well, my favorite collaboration actually on that record is a song that you actually did called Rowdy Ends. It's actually an interlude, but it was actually with yourself and Big Mac, also known as Mac Truck, man. I gotta say, you guys had phenomenal chemistry on that joint.
That my dude went crazy. That was banger, too. Mike Mosley did that. Mike Mosley did that joint for me. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I heard this, you know, listening to it, I heard Big Mac's voice on it, so I heard Blue. I just heard it. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with Mac, my nigga Rich, you fucking with him. I heard his voice, bro. And she said, Mac, that boy came through there. That voice crispy on that thing, man, went crazy. My nigga Globe One came in there, we did that thing, man. People like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Slapping. I ain't gonna lie, that was a knock, too. It's still not right now. Not, that shit's not right now, hard.
And I gotta ask you as well, that day when you actually heard Mac's voice, like, was that the first day you met him, or did you know him previously before that?
Well, you know, he was actually with my partner Rich. I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? And Rich put me on, actually, he was Rich artist or whatever it is. They were doing their thing. And I think I had heard him. I heard him and everything a little bit. But when I'm doing my music and shit, I really don't listen to nothing. I don't listen to nobody else shit. But if you hear something, you hear something. But his voice just came from my head on that. It just came, you know what I mean? I can't explain it. His voice came to me for that and that song right there. Come on. Rich, what's up, Mac? Mac, what's up? Let's do it. But my nigga, we look crazy. He got an authentic voice. You can't deny that. You know?
Most definitely, man. There's very few individuals in the music industry that have that distinct voice that Big Mac truthfully has.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, he said it just worked perfectly well. Right, come on, put that book on there, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And we've been in tune ever since. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just a natural thing. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no bullshit, it wasn't about no fucking money and all that type of shit. It was just about artistry. Okay, I'm with it, let's do it. Type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And everything, man. Like, that's how it should be sometimes, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, be tripping off some certain type of dollars and certain things. And if you got chemistry, man, it is what it is, man. Magic is gonna happen like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Real.
And also, jumping ahead in the timeline just a little bit there, in 1998, you actually collaborated with Lil Ric, the hard hitter, also known as now Hitta Slim, on the track P's and Q's Stay on Your Toes, man. How did yourself and Hitta Slim get connected, man? And what was it like just conversing with him and just working with him in the studio?
Well, you know, I got into it with Ric, Hitta Slim, that Hitta whatever, call it my nigga, you feel me? That's my dude. When we was at AWOL, when I went over to AWOL, our dog Big V called me. He was like, man, you know, he wanna fuck with you. And at that moment, I wasn't doing that. I was just in the parking lot doing my thing. I was there and just, you know, moving around, doing my thing. And he was like, man, I want to fuck with you. I'm like, all right, it's good. Let me see, you know what I'm saying? Let me see the paperwork. He sees the paperwork, you know, ran through that. Down to 6 that. Boom, we made it happen. Then when I got over there, you know what I'm saying, I seen Rue, and you know, I seen the gang or whatever what they were doing. I'm like, okay, but I knew my thing was different. I didn't do what they did. You feel me? Rue wasn't with the banging and that either. You know what I'm saying? But he was already there, Pizzo and all that shit. But I get over there, you know, had my little thing, my ideas already from the rock with him, and everything. Seeing Rue, like talking about Richmond. Oh, Richmond nigga, locked in right now. Locked in. We ain't going nowhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Buddy, I got you, we rocking. And the you came, like I said, we was talking, and it was from there to today. You know what I'm saying? And we put the album together after A-Ball started expanding. You know what I'm saying? She went back to jail and shit. We was like, man, we had hella beats, music, I did beats. Hella people giving us beats for one job I got. You know what I'm saying? We're like, man, why not? Like, it made sense. You get Big Lurch on there, Cool Nut. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know what I'm saying? It was just one of them things, man. We ride the real nigga shit. This is one of the real nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing was, because he was from Richmond, too, and we locked in with, bro, sure, I got your back, and I don't give a what it is. You feel me? We going, you know what I'm saying? To me, I'm dealing with a few foreigners, because I don't know. All I know is AWOL. They doing their thing. I respected it like a motherfucker. I'm like, oh, this is a good move. It's going to keep the name popping. fuck it, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it rocking. You know what I'm saying? Link up with Wu, and we start doing our thing, man. All type of shit, man. We locked in. Locked in, and it came up with that shit.
And I gotta say as well, back in the day, AWOL, man, like they had a phenomenal roster. They had, of course, you.
Man,
They had Pizzo. They had Marvelous, man. It was a stacked.
man. That's why it was a beautiful thing for me for him to want me to come through there and do that at the time. So I'm like, well, this is right on time, bro. You know what I'm saying? And, not just me, like I said, Bo had it on his back, Marvelous, or Lunatic, Killer Tay. You know what I'm saying? Man, they had rosters. That was the new that role. For real, you know what I'm saying? That's how it was. If he wouldn't have went to jail, that motherfucker would have been lit. You know what I'm saying? And everything. But the chemistry there too. I get in the studio. That's another thing I like. I learned something from him too. You know what I'm saying? Like the pay scale and certain things about the business too that I like with that they had in place. You know what I'm saying? They was organized in a certain type of way. But you know what I'm saying? Like that was you got artists like that, everybody going. Everybody's going. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh. And my thing was just I didn't the beats, a lot of beats that they was using to do, I didn't really try to mess with all the type of beats. My thing was different. I had a different type of vibe coming through there. You know what I'm saying? I saw One Drop Scott to AWOL. You know what I'm saying? He did, what album was that? I think Tebow took my casting drop or something like that. I brought One Drop Scott over there for that sound. So I'm like, Scotty, I need you. Come on, let's go over here. You know what I'm saying? He breaded my nigga Scotty out and gave Tebow a different sound. It was my sound, though. You feel me? I threw that out there because I seen something. Dude, let's go. So anybody with me, but that rock with, authentic, man, I go, you go. You know what I'm saying? And then it was magic. I said that nigga, Bo, the casket drop, I think that was the one that did some crazy shit with him and all that. It was crazy ass shit here. It's behind some shit that they did with Bo. He back in jail. He couldn't even celebrate his success on that album because the people took him back to jail. But One Drop Scott, man, my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Took him there. You know what I'm saying? I'll be feeling good about that because, like I said, I brought that over there. I brought that game over there. Honestly, it was the guy. Let's go. A different sound, you know what I'm saying? And it worked hard. It sounded good on both voice. You know what I mean?
And I gotta ask you as well, man, because I had a lot of individuals hit me up and wanted to ask this question. But this is the question they wanted to hear, man. They want a lot of listeners want to know, man. Of course, you had the opportunity to work with Mac Dre, but how did yourself and Mac initially get connected, and what was Mac Dre actually like behind the scenes?
Man, okay, so, bro, it goes, that thing started back in like 80-something when he, could come through and fuck with my dude, Filthy Phil. You know what I'm saying? Filthy Phil was rapping from the Manor. You know what I'm saying? Did his thing. Dre, like, they was fucking around at the same time. But Dre, he was familiar with my neighborhood, first of all. You know what I'm saying? And how we linked up, I was hella young when they was doing that shit. That parties and shit, that all the man, the boys was dope. But Dre and Kilo, when they did that little fair time and stuff, so when my big bros was in there too, they linked up and, was talking and reminiscing about it, the old times and shit. And, you know what I'm saying? Jay Hollis, my big bro, gave him a little yeet call, gave him some yeet shit. You know what I'm saying? And he could talk to him about some stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Jay got out. The time he got out, you know what I'm saying? He came straight to the ghetto. That's Manor and shit. We call it Manor. Couldn't be Manor, you feel me? Jay came to the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Jack said, come through. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, y'all. See what's up. I'm napping and shit. I was always a fan of Jay. I was always a fan of Jay. But he's hot for this thing. And then he's comedy rapping, real nigga. I mean, all the little shit, man. Like, there's a lot of shit that Jay was just doing. Authentic. You're never going to get another one. You know what I'm saying? And we just start talking and mobbing and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, when you just linked up like that, bro, we just mob. We on. We just do it. Let's go. And, it's like the chemistry was there too. And then also when Jay was down and he got out, one of them times, so I had a lot of things going on and a lot of people tapping in. I'm like getting all that, hooking up with some people and, just running into some people and all that shit. Because, I mean, shit, that's what they want. I got $2 up for you. You know what I'm saying? Running in that shit. And, you know, that shit wasn't nothing. Like, why wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? I also gave him a piece of game that he used that was really, really dope that I had got from over the box. You know what I'm saying? I spit the verbs to him about, you know, some moves that was available over there at City Hall Records. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't take advantage of it anymore because me and Walker got into some stuff that wasn't cool. You feel me? But I gave that knowledge, you know, to Dre. Like, man, I think you can use this shit. And that's what he did, which was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? No, nobody knows, but I fed him some information on that, and everybody did it. I feel he could take advantage of that more than I could at the moment, and he did. That's what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, shit, that's pretty much history, man. You know, we did our thing and everything, and why our shit wasn't about promoting in public and shit. Like, we just good people. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, you know, we still signing and locked in Kilo and the Cup and Kids and all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we go back deep to the 80s. The 80s, man. Ariel's doing shows and shit when the niggas was like fresh. You know what I'm saying? Hard rock, like.
And I gotta say as well, first and foremost, man, you know what I mean? God bless Mac Dre's soul, man. Such a talented individual, man, and most definitely gone too soon.
Man, the character, man, a real character, natural, man. Some people got it, some people don't. But hey, I remember when he was doing the Trill TV up in Sac. So he got back and had some studio and shit. He had this little desk or something. That shit was hella funny at the time. But that's raw though. You know what I'm saying? It was raw. And he was just doing it in his brain. And man, it was just, you know, his candy kept coming. And, you know, if he was still been here and all of this able to bring all that shit to life right now, man, that shit been going crazy, bro. But like I said, bro was a natural, a thinker, a humble dude, solid dude. He fucked with everybody, he fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't be mad at him. You know what I'm saying? And they had the North Bay. Blair and Crestline had that North Bay locked in, all that Santa Rosa and all that, up that way, Ukiah, all that Humboldt shit, you feel me? Locked in. And he had that locked in by himself. Nobody was going that way. Came all the way up, man. Killed it. Niggas started going over there back. Santa Rosa. You know what I'm saying?
But jumping ahead in the timeline here a little bit, actually, to today, man, you actually have your own apparel brand called Yee. And I was wondering, man, can you tell us a bit more about that brand? And, of course, where can we actually buy ourselves some official Lil Ric Yee merchandise?
Yeah. Right? Yee come from the neighborhood. You know, back in the 80s, we was just running around. The big homie, big jack, and everybody was, I don't know how he came up with the fucking word. It was a call to let people know, let us know where we at. If the road is coming, or for people, some outsiders coming, anything. You know what I'm saying? People didn't understand what that was. Why would they? Why would we tell them too, right? But he was a call, man, to let the brothers to let us know that we in tune. Where we at? Where you at? And we did that everywhere we went. We was at the mall. When we went to one store. Come out the store with your G. Yeah, so there you go. You know what I'm saying? Neighborhood police, like, pick the shit up or whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And tuck away. You know what I'm saying? And then when Big Dog did that little time, some Jay came home with the Yee, and you know he had his thing going on. You know, like he was growing, and his fan base was pick back up for it and everything, man. When Jay did it, he took another stance to it. You know what I'm saying? Like all that Northern Cali, upper Northern Cali shit, start going with it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you got some other people in the V that was, you know, whatever they didn't know kind of where shit really came from or how it came about or whatever it is. And, you know, for that he's 40 and short, man, you know, this shit started going and growing. Who knew? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the city and the Bay kind of like pay homage to a nigga and let it be. Until I had to do it. You know, it just made sense. Then Fab, I had to holler at Fab. Fab was doing dope bear shit, right? He was doing dope bear, and I was like, man, bro, you know, he is really the dope bear too, bro. Like, he's really dope bear, though. And he's like, okay, bro. About a month or so later, came back with the little Yee. I said, man, let's go right now. saying? And it all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. It represents good, solid, beautiful energy. You know what I'm saying? It's outside the neighborhood. And, you know, people just caught on to something. It's culture now. That's what it's saying. Actually, it is. You know, everybody from the Bay, not everybody, but people from the Bay, but they outside the Bay. They in other cities, and they in other states. They see that or hear that, man. So they feel good because it reminds them of home. So, you know what I mean? You know, you tell, like, this represents, first of all, my city, my neighborhood, my city, in the Bay Area, outside of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the good things, man. You know what I'm saying? We got accessories, too. It ain't just, you know, shirt, and racers, and pencils, all types of shit, man. And, you know, got the website, www.enation.com. You know what I'm saying? The website actually getting a new website, getting dressed up again. So, you know what I'm saying? Hit it with a whole new line of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so it was one of them things, man, that came, and it was a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's for the neighborhood, it's for the community. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm coming from, man, Kennedy Manning. Everybody is you. Everybody support that. Everybody can get off that. You know what I'm saying? Whoever for the money eats off that and supports that and do things for the community, man. With that, that's what it's about. You know, our brothers that we lost, the streets and shit, because of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That purity. So, you know, now that everything is, you know, a lot of gentlemen are older now. You know what I'm saying? We just, you know, do what we got to do to keep this positive movement of ye going. It's been enough of the shit, bullshit. We're keeping it lit. It's that, like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all types of shit, there's so many things there, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we put with this shit, man. You know what I mean?
And I gotta ask you as well, Little Ric, is there anything I happened to miss during this interview? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote while we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
You know, I got things coming. It's music out already. Cornerback, I got the video pumping. I got 60 joints coming. Man, I got music coming. A lot of it coming, you know, that I've been working on for a while and everything, and looking for the right time. You know, I'm dropping just singles. You know what I'm saying? Right now, every few months, a month or so, whatever I feel like it's available for the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop some joints. You know what I'm saying? There's a few cats out here, you know, that's pumping. I know, like Cuddy Mack got a little joint out. So you got to tap it in. My son, Scotty, you know, Pippin, he got some shit. You know what I'm saying? Going. My dog, Cyber Gang, you feel me? Got some shit popping. You know what I'm saying? Magic Mike, you know what I'm saying? Hit a slam. Oh, man, it's some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work that's still been put in. You know what I'm saying? For the next haul of this shit. To see how the dynamics grow or where it's going to. You know what I'm saying? You know, all we got to do is keep it lit. On my Instagram, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be having that shit fired up with different little shit. You know what I'm saying? Snippets. And then we snippet. You know what I'm saying? So tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? At Lil Ric _Yee, Urban Apparel _ So tap in, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what we got to do. What can we do here? How can we keep it trill with them? You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Little Ric, before we part ways here, I just gotta say, man, thank you for years of amazing music, man. Like I mentioned earlier on in the interview, what my favorite record was. I think I had 3 copies of that growing up, man, and I ran through all 3 copies, man. I burnt them right out.
That's beautiful, man. You know, like I said, that right there, it just keeps me humble and moving and working many different things. Try to, you know, keep being creative on certain things, but it's people like you that keep the artistry into, keep you hungry for doing certain things. You know, music in you, and then you gotta get it out. Music is therapy to me. You know what I'm saying? Emotional and all types of shit. So I mean, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you that tapping in and feeling it like you feel, man. And we're able to do that. And, you know what I'm saying? We're able to tap into more people, man, and just, you know what I'm saying? Get some like good energy going, man. That's all. I appreciate you, 100%.
Hey, man, I gotta say, I appreciate the kind words, man, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon. But Lil Ric, I know, man, that you're a busy guy, and I just want to say thank you so much, man, and most definitely have yourself a wonderful night out there on the west coast of California.
Man, you too. Outlaw Radio FM, man. It's Canadian moves, man. Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, you already know what it do. Real hip hop isn't dead. It just went north of the border to Canada. I appreciate you, Lil Ric. Thank you so much again, man, and have yourself a wonderful night.